Get ready. Hope you got your wine poured.
You know what time it is! Boom
Shakalaka! Hey, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's a party up in here.
Yeah, see, this
Yes,
is your
it
first time experiencing the big boom shakalaka.
Oh yeah.
It's
Oh
so
yeah.
exciting, and we have the very ever popular Tavis Hall here in the building, saying "boom
There we
shakalaka"
are.
right with us.
All right.
I'm gonna drink to that.
There you go.
There you
It's
go.
not every
Let's
week
do.
we get a handsome young man to sit and co-host with us. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yes.
Yep, thank you so much for joining Miss Rocki and Chaveevah Live. You know, there's always something good happening on the north end.
And everywhere else in the Cedar Valley,
Absolutely.
and you know this.
Absolutely.
Yes.
If
Absolutely.
anybody knows it, you know it. He knows more than what we know, y'all. So we're going to find out some of that good stuff today.
We do what we can.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, we just found out something about Tavis, that he is the executive director
Yep.
of
Yes.
Experience Waterloo.
That's right. That's
Yes.
right. So we've been in the organization for. We've been at least a committee, if not a full organization, for over 50 years.
Wow. So we're going to get to learn
Yeah,
a
so
little
we
bit
were.
about that.
That's right. So we were the Convention and Visitors Bureau previously.
Oh.
Used to be Travel Waterloo, and about a year ago we went through a rebrand and became Experience Waterloo. So it's been great. A transition from Main Street Waterloo, where I knew
Right,
young
that was
Mr.
what you
Campbell.
used to
Right.
Yep,
do,
and
right?
I got to tell you, it's amazing to see how far that young man has grown. To see how he's transformed that market,
Yes.
the farmers market, to be something that we can all be proud of.
It's only the second year.
It is amazing.
Can't believe
Yeah.
how much.
And it really speaks to, when folks tackle things with passion, the sort of outcomes that can come from it, right?
Oh, yeah.
And approach it with fresh eyes, too,
Absolutely.
and just has really transformed it quite a bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So a huge asset. Love that young brother. I'm so proud of him. So glad that he's doing everything that he's doing. But so I transitioned into this role with Experience Waterloo about 2 years ago now.
Yeah,
And,
you've been doing it for 2 years,
yeah.
and we just found
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
we had no clue. We
Yeah.
were just, I think you did
out
something
and
at
about,
Rodney's
yeah.
kitchen, and
Yep.
I was like, what's he doing, And then started kind of looking and stalking and
Yeah.
stuff. And
Yeah.
so, and also, we want to thank you for your support
Of course.
and your sponsorship
Absolutely.
of North End Update, because
Absolutely.
when you support us, you really do make, I have a bad voice situation today, but you really do make us all look good.
Absolutely.
And we certainly appreciate
Well, y'all do it
that.
on your own, right?
Oh,
Y'all
thank
look good
you.
on your own. But, what's important for us as an organization, our main focus is to drive tourism in the
Yes.
city
Yes.
and to inspire travel. And so sometimes that means going out, most of the time that means going out to other communities and
Right.
talking about Waterloo.
To bring
So
them
that's-
in.
That's right. So that's part
Yes.
of why folks don't always know what the Waterloo Convention and Visitors Bureau or Travel Waterloo or Experience Waterloo is about, because we're having those conversations in Des Moines, in
Yes.
Cedar Rapids, in Iowa City, in Davenport, Dubuque, Minneapolis,
Well,
Chicago,
we're going to find
elsewhere,
out
right?
a lot more.
And
Zion,
so-
we have
yeah.
comments?
You have two. Jerome Amos Jr. says, looking forward to continued progress, Jerome.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And Lori Dale says, boom chocolates, ladies and gents.
Hey, Lori.
Boom,
Absolutely.
shakalaka, Lady.
Absolutely.
See you later at the critique meeting.
And Jerome Amos Jr. also says, great to be watching.
Yes.
Right.
Oh,
Absolutely.
thank you, Jerome. We just love to have you along. Yeah, so we want to announce too that we're good. You got a head start,
Yeah.
but we are going to capitalize on the No Shave November. We want all you men out there to grow out your beards, take pictures, share them with us, and we will be sharing them on our Facebook page. So make sure that you do, and we'll be talking about men's health all through the month of November, which is a very, very a lot of touchy subjects, mental health being one of them. So
Yep.
And like with any health issue, just the fact of it needs to be brought more awareness, because Generally speaking, I know it's a generalization, but men tend to just bulldoze on through.
Right.
And not, has to have an eyeball hanging out on a string before you go see about it, so.
Yes, yes. Okay, also, we want to talk about last week's show. We had on Lisa Ambrose from Amani Services and Laura Rose Burt from the Hair Hut. And also, we had William Burt from Cut Kings. You watched, right?
Yep.
You
Absolutely.
did?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
I
great.
did.
Well,
Absolutely.
we'd like to hear that. Okay, so now we're going to ask you a couple of things. How
Sure.
did the connection come about, and how long have you already told us how long you've been in your position. And tell us about any upcoming events. Do you
Sure.
have anything going on
Yeah.
that we need to know about?
So we focus much more on what other folks are doing and trying to promote what other folks are up to. So we
You mean
actually
like us?
Exactly, and specifically events. And so
Okay.
we have, of course, our website as an organization, experiencewaterloo.com. Go
Okay.
check it out. But then we also have a shared venture between our office and the Cedar Falls Tourism Office called Cedar Valley 365.
Cedar Valley 365.
And so
Let me write
that is
Okay.
an online calendar that folks can go to. They can pick, okay, I want to go to an event in downtown Waterloo. I like events in downtown Waterloo. I like dining specials in Cedar Falls. They can pick sort of whatever their local flavor is, whatever they like.
Okay.
And it'll generate lists and shoot them notifications when events are coming up.
You guys are really an information hub, because I know when we were down there,
Yes.
just all that information
Yep.
that you all had, all these leaflets and brochures for this, that, and the other that are going around, that, basically, I had no idea.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and a lot of us have talked about how there's so much. The folks that know, there's so much going on.
Yes.
And then when you hear somebody say, "Man, I don't know, there ain't nothing going on,"
Yeah,
it
it
sort
just-
of
yeah.
explodes your brain a little
Right.
bit, right?
Right.
And so our job is to make sure and we've really pivoted as an organization, that it's not just about letting folks outside of Waterloo know what's going on, but making sure that our own residents
That's right.
understand that we've got a whole lot to be proud of, that we've got a
Yes.
whole lot to do, and we have a whole lot that we're going to be doing
Yes.
moving forward.
And Tavis, why don't you tell everybody where your location is?
That's right.
It's 500 Jefferson
500
Street.
Jefferson, yep, right across the street from the convention center.
And the website again.
Yep, experiencewaterloo.com.
All right. So everybody go to the website, kind of look around, or even stop in. Your office
Yep.
is open regular business hours?
Yep, 8 to 5 every day, Monday through
All
Friday.
right. All right. Well, thank you
All right.
so much
Absolutely.
for all of your support, like we
course.
said again before. Also, today we have other guests that are going to join us here shortly.
Yes, we're going to have Jamisia Young and also Charles Pearson. They're going to talk about what they respectively do. And also, everybody, we're going to have a conversation about the Great Migration.
Yes.
And how it came to bring so many, African Americans to this area. I'm from Chicago, and so the exact same thing happened as far as people coming from the South, and then, my family, my goodness. And if you were already in the North, then you were just sort of an anchor to whatever
yes.
family members that might be coming up. So.
You were the North Star. If
Something
you
like
had
that,
already
yeah.
got yourself established in a
Yeah.
community and the others were waiting to come and join you, then basically you were the hub. Everybody kind of, if you had a house, I'm talking way back then, they didn't even have housing. So we'll get on that subject. And Charles Pearson is an expert on the
Yes.
North End and the migration. And Jamisia has a page called, what's it called, baby?
The Untold History.
The Untold History, right. And I was so proud when I went to see that. I'm like a young person that's actually interested in this stuff. So she's going to be sharing some of her information with us after here just a little bit. And we have to say congratulations to Tequila Jefferson.
That's right, Tequila Jefferson. She won the prize drawing last week for the Boom Shakalaka coffee cup. So congratulations.
That's right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Tequila, I have not forgotten. You're going to come pick it up, and I got to get your picture with that. All right. And we're going to ask Zion today.
Yep, Zion, what we want to ask you today has to do with, I couldn't really think of anything. I appreciate Ed stepping in and mentioning the whatever apps on the phone that are trending. What do you think of, I never even heard of TikTok.
TikTok?
Yeah.
What's that all about?
So there was, so you know how there always something that leads up to whatever is popular now. And so there was an app called Vine, which had just different short clips
Yeah, I
of
remember.
really funny videos that would make people laugh. And so that's essentially what TikTok is, but it's pretty much just a better version of what Vine did. And so it adds sound and different effects that you can do. And so it's just a way to make funny videos.
Okay,
or
so
relatable videos.
is that where people got that do it for the Vine, when they used to do all this little quick stuff?
Yeah,
Is
like
that-
Vine
Okay,
was what lived before TikTok walked.
okay.
Oh,
I get it.
okay. Speaking of walking, that sounds like a young person before TikTok walked. Is that what you said? Okay, well, I learned a new hip word. You probably know it. You know all them words, don't you?
No.
Okay, so Tori Williams and Lamont Petrell dropped a CD.
There you go.
Is that cool?
That's something.
They dropped it, and they be dropping knowledge,
There you
and
go.
it's dope
Yeah.
and sick.
Oh, wow.
And
All of
all,
that.
yeah,
Wow.
All
yeah, trying to keep up with y'all.
Watch out.
Yeah. And it's
Always
called,
have.
My Conscience.
My conscience.
Yes.
And you know, the more you listen to it, the more it rings true, you know, to so much that's going on today. And they actually have Nicole Hannah-Jones at the end of it. That's really, really.
And a couple of voice clips in between too, where
Yes.
she's talking about, yeah.
Yeah, so I suggest you go to Lamont's page and check that out. We want to shout out to our crew, Ed and Zion, and I understand we're going to have another person joining the crew here pretty soon too.
Yeah.
And so thank you so much, Ed and Zion, for doing all you do.
Okay, be sure to follow us on North End Update, like our page. You can see us at any time on YouTube. You can binge watch us on YouTube. And on Fridays at 4, at Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, you can watch us on WCT Channel 17 or 79-4.
Right. And if it's Saturday morning, do not do day drinking. I've been trying to encourage people, don't day drink, because that's the worst thing you can do. One of the worst things. Pour your coffee.
There
If
you
it's
go.
Friday, get a glass of wine and watch Boom Shakalaka, and do not forget. Now, if you're watching it on YouTube, you can just do anything you
There you
want.
go.
Popcorn, wine,
Yep.
coffee, all
Ribs,
together.
whatever.
Ribs.
Okay.
But no pizza. No pizza.
No pizza, yeah,
No
yeah.
pizza, no beer. Okay. Let us talk about our supporters, Tavis.
Sure, yeah. So, Morgs,
Yes.
Morgs Diner. I miss y'all so much.
Oh, you haven't
I'm on
been
this
there.
diet. I'm on this diet, so I'm trying to. But those pancakes speak to me.
Okay, maybe
but-
you shouldn't even read the next one then. Rockets Bakery.
Thank you. Also amazing, and they're a great addition to downtown and the Waterloo in general.
Yes.
East End Automotive, Ferguson Team Real Estate,
Yes.
UniQ, Talent Search, the amazing work that those folks do over there.
Yes.
I think too often goes unthanked.
Oh, yes.
But we really need to sing their praise because they're really in the trenches doing some amazing work. And
That's
then old
right.
school over on Sumner and Banneker Watches. You know, Derek Holmes' hometown.
Yes.
Great Waterloo product.
Right.
That we should all be proud of.
Oh, and we certainly are. Derek is always staying in touch with his community, as is Travis Ferguson and all of our supporters. You know, they by supporting us, you know, they get the word out. But it also makes us all look good because when you support Rocki and Chaveevah Live, Chaveevah, tell them what they
That's
do.
right. What you do, you help with raising royalty because a percentage of what we get from our supporters goes to Royal Legacy Christian Academy. It helps to pay our intern, who does an awesome job.
He
okay?
does. Zion, shout out.
It helps us to purchase the frequent giveaways that we have, like Boom Shakalaka cups and prints and just different
T-shirts.
stuff. T-shirts.
Yeah, T-shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also you get to recognize your organization or your business.
Yes.
And we also buy gifts for women who inspire.
Yes.
We have lots of things that we do with those proceeds. So please support Rocki and Chaveevah Live.
Yeah, because when we do that, it makes us
Oh, look good. That's right.
Yes.
Okay, well, we know you've been waiting. Wait a minute, we got to sing happy birthday.
Oh, I was hoping y'all was
Yeah,
going
we
to
got to sing happy birthday. Well, why
Nobody
don't
gets away from the happy
Oh,
birthday.
man.
the
No,
birthdays?
no,
Oh,
no.
there they are. Wait a minute. Let's see. We got the birthday, and we're just gonna bring them on now. Let's bring our guests on now so they
Yeah.
can party
More
with
voices.
us.
More
Yes,
voices.
more
That's-
voices.
That's what Charles gets for laughing at me earlier when I said it.
Right now, we'd
We
like
got
to
Zion.
welcome Jamisia Young and Charles. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Charles Pearson.
Thank you. What
I
happened?
know his whole family.
Brain bills.
Yes, we Waterloo proud. You need to be over this
Yes,
way.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
More and turn. Yeah.
Oh, no,
that's
you're
it.
okay.
Yeah.
No, that way you tilt a little bit and
Yeah,
everybody can see
maybe
your
tilt
beautiful
your weight
face a
this
little
way.
better. There you
That
go.
way. There,
Okay.
towards the chief. Yeah, there you go. But look, yeah. Okay, so we got you guys. Jamisia Young. Is it Young?
Yes.
Oh, you got a long name. Tell me your name. All of it.
Jamisia. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we also have Charles Pearson,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Waterloo. Yeah.
Wow, what kind of title? That's a great title.
Okay. Oh, I don't know. Both of y'all. You can be Water, you can be Lou.
Okay.
Okay. Well, welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
We definitely have to ask you a trick question that we always ask everybody. And if you're a regular viewer, which I know you are, you know what the
You
question
already know what
is?
the question is.
But I don't know what the question is.
You?
I probably don't know the question. I'm not gonna lie.
You?
Sorry.
Oh,
I know.
Terrible.
it is. Do you subscribe to the Soul Town?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Yes, the Soul Town. Introduced first by Chaveevah, who is Waterloo proud as well, Chaveevah.
Yes, absolutely. And she is doing her thing out west, just doing a wonderful job working with the youth, keeping this magazine going, which is now available in 18 countries.
Wow.
Yes, international.
Just
from-
like our show.
Hey, we worldwide.
There you go.
Yeah, started on
They got us on
now we're
Mars and
worldwide.
Jupiter and stuff. No, but wonderful articles that have to do with what's going on here and other places around the country, around the world. So many talented people contribute to this, and it's a very proud thing to be able to say it started right here.
It did.
Yes.
And we will be representing the Soul Town. Chaveevah and I both are part of the Soul Town contributing artists. So we'll be sitting at the Soul Town table at the NAACP banquet tomorrow that we forgot to mention.
Yes, we
So
will.
thank you for that, Chillin' and the Soul Town crew.
And if you want to subscribe, you can go to
TheSoulTown.com.
or you can pick up a hard copy from Tri-City Clothing at 305 East 4th Street or at Earth's Beauty Supply, 403 Franklin Street.
Right. And we suggest you do that.
For sure.
Okay?
Definitely.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
See, when we sign people up, we get extra points.
There you go.
And we might get an extra dessert at the banquet
Okay.
tomorrow. Okay. Zion, we have comments?
Benjamin Smith says, "Boom shakalaka."
Hey,
Hey,
Ben. Such a talented artist.
Yes.
You know
He
him
also
well.
says,
What
his
is-
words,
Don't
not
read
mine. Dang, Jamisia look fine.
All right.
Oh, you are the apple of
That's
his
right. That's
eye.
right.
right.
Talk up your woman.
Don't read
Yes,
it,
she
'cause I
is
knew
very
it was gonna be
beautiful.
good.
But what about me, Ben?
Lori Adele says, you have some powerful people on your show
Lori.
today.
Oh,
Hey, y'all.
We love
Yes.
you, Lori.
Hey, Lori. That's right. She telling us what's the truth. Okay. Yes, indeed. Well, we're just having so much fun. We about to get down to business. We got to sing happy birthday, and we're going to do it real quick. But we love all you birthday people. How about you? Why don't you read this first row?
Okay.
Lines.
Lonnie Gillum,
Yes.
William Corey Muhammad,
Yeah.
Gloria Hintz,
Hey.
Surf Trey,
Yep,
Surf
surf
Trey.
trade.
Nellie Lynn.
No,
Oh, no. Keep
Oh,
going.
no,
You
no,
got
no,
it.
no,
you
no,
got
I
it.
know.
go for
Phil,
it. And you going to sing,
Is
too.
it okay? Is it Neil Lynn?
Yeah.
Is it?
Neil,
Oh,
yep.
Neil, yeah. Philbert Burnett,
All right.
Demetrius Harrington, and Olivia Delaney.
Yes.
Yes.
And Jamisia.
Kathy Caton, Rhonda Gray,
Agewu.
Gay.
Oh, that's a hard
Daisy.
Okay. Jonathan McLaurin.
All
That's
right.
right. I see 3 of my kin people up here.
Okay. Well, we love your birthday, people, and as we mentioned before, if you want us to do a paint party like we're going to do for Kathy Keaton tomorrow, get a hold of us. So we're going to be there doing a painting and sip party
Yes.
for Kathy Keaton's
Yep.
birthday. So happy birthday to you,
And the
Queen.
more you sip, the more fun you have painting.
Okay. Happy birthday to
That's
Kathy
how it
Keaton
works.
and all of the rest of you birthday people. And we like to sing a special song for you, and it's the Stevie Wonder version.
That's my favorite
And it
version.
goes something like this. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday, happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Yay, birthday people.
Charles was just about to sing the first verse. I thought that's what happened.
He probably knows the whole thing. He probably knows the whole thing. Okay, why don't we start? We always start with ladies first. Okay, Jamisia. Tell us, are you from Waterloo? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Born and raised in Waterloo. I was born in the 80s, so born at a time where my parents, because they were older, my dad was born in 1942, so he always cultivated like just the importance of like being proud of your history and your culture. And so for me, I've always just been obsessed with like learning about my history and my culture. And then I met Charles, and then
You got way into it.
right. So then from there, it was just a constant like just experiencing, just being mind blown by all the great history of Iowa, of African Americans and the Irish community, and just all of us together, how we have contributed to the culture in Iowa. So
Yes, and how about your family? When did your family? And we're talking about the Great Migration
Right.
today. How long has your family been right here in Waterloo?
well, my dad has been here. Well, he was here. I think he arrived in the 50s, like the late 50s. My mom has been since the 60s, so I'm not sure the exact dates, but they've been here for quite a long time. So
I
they've seen a lot.
Okay,
Experienced
right.
a lot, yeah.
Yeah, and where did they come from? Do you know
Mississippi, yeah.
what part?
I don't know.
Okay, so we're asking a lot of our viewers today to share your migration history, and Zion will read it. What towns did your family migrate here from? Was it Mississippi? Was it Alabama? Was it Tennessee? What parts of the South? And some of you may have even a better, not better, there's nothing better, but another location that's not familiar, maybe even, Jamaica or other places.
Sure.
So please chime in while we watch today. And so what made you want to start I know you have the page called, tell me what it is again.
Untold History of
Untold
African
History.
Americans in Waterloo. Yeah.
Yeah, and you just decided to take that on.
Yeah, actually, funny story. It was a product of like a class project. I
Oh,
was supposed to do a presentation on it, and I was like, you know what? Instead of doing like a regular old presentation, I'm just going to do a Facebook page.
Wow.
great.
Because that way the community could have access to it.
So yeah, go visit her page, and it's called The Untold History. And Benjamin, your husband, actually did a painting that I purchased called The Migration, I believe he
Yeah,
called
The
it.
Great Migration. I
The
believe.
Great
Yeah.
Migration, and I love it. Have yet to get it framed, but I'm just so happy that people your age are interested in the Great Migration. You may or may not know it's a big thing in my family.
Yeah, for sure.
My great uncle came here in 1906. So we have a rich history, and we are 6 generations deep right here on the north end of Waterloo. So the fact that we do this show is kind of like a coincidence. But
Right.
Zion,
Yeah.
you have some comments for us.
Keisha Swing says, hey.
Hi,
hey,
Keisha.
Keisha.
Joyce Sandwater says, boom shakalaka in Jackson, Tennessee.
All
Okay,
right.
Jackson. All right, Tennessee people. How about that? Thank you, Zion. Okay, and Jamisia, I know you're a busy mom. You have 3 daughters,
Girls, yeah.
and go to school,
Go to
work
school, I
full
work.
time.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm doing a lot.
Yeah, that's quite a balancing act, isn't it?
Oh, it
Yeah.
is, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm exhausted, but they keep me motivated. So Yeah.
Well, it doesn't show. You always look
Thank
so
you.
beautiful and
Thank
radiant.
you.
And it's great to have Benjamin as well. You guys are a power couple
Thank you.
in our view. We're
Yes.
glad that you could be here today.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
For sure.
Talk to this fella. He knows everything, Chaveevah.
Okay, yes, I mean, for people who might not know
May not
about
know.
Mr. Charles Pearson, just
Right.
give us a little background and by all means talk about what you're doing with the history piece of Waterloo,
And there's a civil rights trail.
Yes,
a
thank
lot
you.
of different
Yeah,
things
yes.
that are going on,
I'm-
and I need to connect with you.
I've been fortunate to be around some unique people at one time. Like 10 years, I lived in the Quad Cities. And so there, history is like a big deal for the whole region. So you have different historical societies, historical preservation commissions. You have local school systems that's all engaged in history. So the thing that I was blessed to be able to do was have a father that in Waterloo, Iowa, he was passionate about his neighborhood where he went to school. at.
Lollipop.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah, Mr. Charles Miles Lollipop.
I remember.
Yes,
okay,
you know,
I
like
remember.
Yeah,
everybody
Clancy
else.
Miles, Helen Singster. That's,
Sure.
yeah,
Okay.
that little
Alright.
circle. So, Dad was one of those people that for a punishment I would have to ride around and learn history.
Okay.
Wow.
That's what you
So,
want. That's a
so
good thing.
yeah, so at the time I was still trying to be an athlete, trying to be a teenager, but over the years you kind of see what he was trying to implement, and as you get older, you start saying, okay, I get it now. And so for me, I wanted to figure out a puzzle. How do you save black communities?
Yes.
How do you save black neighborhoods?
And the history that
Yeah,
goes along with
absolutely.
them. I mean, there's a whole segment there that's dear to my family. You know, I'm
Yes.
still trying to instill that with my kids. You know, and so I'm interested to hear what you have going on.
I
for
think for me, you need to have a recipe. You have to have a plan that people can like see it and then build off of that plan. And so black communities that I've been able to be involved with the research didn't ever have a plan. So in Waterloo, Iowa, we had to figure out what would be a good plan for Black Waterloo. What does Black Waterloo look like, right? So as you guys talk about the Great Migration, that was an awesome story, but can you imagine that Great Migration being an industrial Negro railroad community? So if you could title it Industrial Negro Railroad Community, that's a whole different jingle than a black borough where prostitution
Hello.
and gambling would happen,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So then when you look at the history of industrialization in these Negro railroad communities, we had the people from the South, when it came to the Great Migration, they were there specifically as labor workers, right?
Right.
They weren't there for their education. But if I'm allowed to talk a little bit about Buxton was a little bit unique because you not only had these people that were educated, that were skilled in something, they also had wealth.
Okay.
Okay, so if you look at the wealth of Buxton, when they got here to Waterloo right around the 1917,
Because the coal mines
ran out of coal.
ran out of coal.
Absolutely.
Okay.
These guys came in here where Highland neighborhood is at.
Okay.
They came in here ready to buy houses
Yes.
in Highland.
Okay.
Can you imagine that? In 1917, you
No,
had
I cannot
you
imagine
had
that.
black professionals that had money to buy brand new houses from the ground up in Highland. But the city at that time, the city and the board of realtors said no,
Had
no,
red
no.
lines.
Yeah,
Right.
they started the restrictive covenants
Sure.
that kind of blocked us from doing that. But if you look at the history of the Buxton people, they were very intelligent. They understood transportation, and what's unique about it is that they started bootlegging.
Okay.
So it's kind of weird to say it like that, but when it came to our region, these Buxton people were able to take bootlegging and make it international.
Okay. Well, you know, that's a known fact that if there is no opportunity, you're going to create some.
Oh,
opportunity.
absolutely.
And if there are no jobs, you're going to make some jobs. And bootlegging is, I know all about bootlegging.
And yeah, well,
I used to go with my dad. He took me everywhere he went. So, yeah. And your family, how long have you been here in Waterloo?
all my life.
All
yeah.
your life,
Yeah,
yeah.
all my
And
life.
so
Yeah.
your parents came here from
Yep.
what part of the country?
Water Valley, Mississippi,
Same
Durant,
here.
Mississippi.
Yes,
Yeah.
Water Valley, and I think those two places are a lot of where the migration via the railroad, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you had a lot of skilled workers in the South. Two things you got to remember about railroad history. Abraham Lincoln was the the attorney for the Illinois Central Railroad. It was like the world's largest railroad. And part of it was trying to figure out how can we take slave labor to help build the railroad up the north.
Okay.
But it just so happened the Civil War kicked in where you had a lot of free slaves that was looking for an opportunity either to be a sharecropper or work for the railroad.
Right.
Well, when you look at the history of Waterloo, what's unique about that, 1861 is when the Civil War started.
Yes.
But 1861 is when Black Hawk County received the railroad right there on East 4th and Sumner.
Wow.
So you got this unique piece when it comes to Lincoln Park, this $3 million park they're doing. And when it comes to the history of African Americans and industrialization, the Emancipation Proclamation, this railroad that's on East 4th Street
Yes.
helps tell that whole story.
That whole story is wrapped
Yeah.
into the railroad,
Yeah.
and that spot right on East 4th Street
Absolutely.
is like hallowed ground for me because I know my parents and grandparents walked those railroad yards
yeah.
for generations. So, and Zion, we have a comment.
Yes, Benjamin Smith says The Great Migration. Thank you, Rocki.
Oh, you're welcome. Oh, the name of his painting, yes, that I now own proudly. Yes.
I proudly own one as well.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
He also said lollipop and chili dog. I don't know.
Hey.
Oh, is that you?
Yeah, Chili Dog was a DJ back in the day.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
DJ Chili Dog.
What you know about the hot tamale man?
A little bit. Not
Just hearsay.
I heard he
Yeah.
has some really great tamales.
I
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace. Mr. Earl Lee, it was a big topic on our wall every time we say anything about him.
Yeah, he is well remembered. I'm not even from here, and I know one for a nickel, two for a dime. Would say more, but I ain't got time.
Tamale man.
Yeah, hot tamale.
Kaya Mabry says Todd Taylor.
Todd Taylor, okay. Oh, I don't know what that means. Do
That's
you-
my uncle. Maybe
Okay.
She's trying to tag him.
Okay.
Lawanda Brown says, "Hey Chaveevah, Shirley, Banks, Ferguson.
Oh, hey.
Shout out from Texas."
All right, Luanda.
All right.
And Reggie Housey says, "Coffeeville, Alabama, checking it."
All right, Reggie.
Thank you so much, Reggie. We appreciate all of you watching from all over the world and every country and planet that you may be viewing from.
That's right.
Okay, and Zion, our time is probably about done, is it? Okay. All right, well, I tell you what, I want to ask you one more question as we wrap up. Now, I know that you had some things in the work about a civil rights trail, or what is the progress? And do you work with the city on any special projects?
We are on the verge of working with the city on some special projects. But
And
as
we
of-
being, you as an individual?
as like Hawkeye Community College.
Okay.
They got a group called the Friends of Iowa Civil Rights. November 15th, we're going to pay a tribute to the 60th anniversary of King's first visit to the state of Iowa.
Oh.
So we bring in people from all over the state of Iowa. I don't know if y'all know Kim Phillips. Kim Cheeks. Sorry about that, Kim Phillips. She's with the Iowa Human Rights Commission, State Commission.
I know the name. I probably know the person when I see him, but yes.
Okay, so we're inviting all these people here so they know that King's first visit to Iowa was actually Waterloo, Iowa. We're
Right.
also giving away awards to a variety of people who helped me out when it comes to the Iowa Civil Rights Trail.
Oh, sure.
And so when it comes to Waterloo, it's a great opportunity for our city to represent our state when it comes to places you can visit and tour when it comes to African American history or civil rights.
Yes, that's right. And so when, will you tell us when the date is again for
Yeah.
this event? And how can
November-
people get to it?
Yep, November 15th will be at the Van G. Miller New Center right there with Hawkeye Community College.
Okay.
It starts from 10 to 11:45. Then we're having a bus tour
Oh,
from
very
11:45 to 12:45. The bus tour is now called the River Loop Civil War, the Civil Rights History Tour.
Wow.
So on the River Loop,
Oh, I
we have...
love hearing things like this.
Yeah.
This is what we really need for the cultural development.
Absolutely, because what it is, it's more inclusive. Because when you look at Civil War, that's where you talk about the Emancipation Proclamation, how Black Hawk County played a role in that. But now you're also seeing where kids are designing murals on the Cedar River,
Yes.
Right.
next to
Yes.
where President Obama spoke at the amphitheater,
Sure.
right across the bridge where Martin Luther King became a member of the Waterloo Public Library.
History.
So you have all these unique pieces. If you mold them together, now you have attractions, and I think that's where Tavis jumps in at, and he could take it to the next level. I'm just the person that kind of like frame it,
Right.
but we have to drive it. as a
Sure.
community.
Sure. Let us know what we can do in
Yes.
any of your
Absolutely.
endeavors. And
Yeah,
please
yeah.
feel free to come on anytime.
Sure.
We're always
Hey,
here.
anytime y'all call, you know I make room for you guys.
Yes, and
Thank you.
likewise.
Thank you so much.
Yes, indeed. Wow.
I know.
Are there any more comments, Zion? I see a few. Any more people chiming
A
in?
couple came in.
Okay.
Reggie Hazy says, that's how my parents came to Waterloo. My daddy worked on the Ive shoot.
The ice shoot. I've heard stories
shoot,
about that
right,
too
yeah.
down at in the railroad yard. Yeah.
And was blessed to get hired at John Deere.
Oh, that was one of the big thriving.
Can I say something about
Say
that
it.
real quick?
Yes.
But it was kind of unfortunate, but it was also a blessing. The John Deere Museum, right?
Okay, yes.
You had a group of black supervisors. The original black supervisors in the history of John Deere's was on that board when it came to the museum, right?
Okay.
But they're upset because they can't see themselves.
Oh.
So the original black supervisors, I want to say his name was William Hewitt, the president of John Deere's at the time, had Charles Toney and Bill Cribbs put together a group of black supervisors to supervise blacks in Waterloo, but we can't see them in the John Deere Museum.
Why?
I don't know. We need to ask their board.
Okay, he's starting some stuff.
I'm just saying. We just need to have a
Representation counts.
we just need to have a conversation.
Have a conversation.
Absolutely.
Okay, and Zion, I know we have a couple more.
I don't think they really, I think they're just having a conversation between each other.
Okay.
Between each other.
All right. Well, we like you doing that too. As long as you're just staying active on Rocki and Chaveevah Wall, that's what it's all about. Because if it's Friday at 4:00, it's what? Boom shakalaka.
That's right.
And it's a little after 4 now. We've got to close out. And I think my voice has had it. But again, we want to thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Tavis.
Yes, of
and you
course.
can come back 2
All
or
right.
3 more times.
Sounds
We're going to
good.
have you back, and you're going to tell us some more great things.
All right.
And you as well, Jamisia. Yeah, just everyone keep us updated on the things that are happening here in Waterloo, and
Yes, and I love
Yes.
that you do what you do, because I don't think there's anybody like you to do it.
Well, you know what? If it wasn't for the people before me, the
Thank
Trail
you for saying
Wells,
that.
the Melvina Scotts,
Roosevelt Taylor, Anna Mae Weems,
Mrs.
Willie Mae
Spencer,
Wright.
absolutely. It's a long list of people
Yes.
that kind of blessed me, put it like
Sure,
that. Yeah.
sure. And let's never forget that. And until next week, we want all of y'all to keep doing what makes you awesome, because it makes us all look good. See you next time.
next time.